Welcome back. We see a beautiful day out there today. And with us right now is Juanita Skoman and Don Tibbetts from United Mutual. How are you today?
Good.
All
good.
right, very good. It's, as I just said, it's beautiful out, isn't it?
It's cold and windy.
It is,
Yes.
but nice and clear, and that's
Yes,
great.
yes.
So,
And dry.
yeah, and dry, yes. So I know yesterday there were several workshops going on. I know you want to kind of fill us in on those, right?
Well, in the morning we had the director training. We have a lot of new directors, not just on our board, but all of the boards. I'd say, probably 2/3 of the directors of the corporate members on the three boards are new.
Right.
And so we had a really good training where Brad Hudson gave us an overview of the village and the different departments and the layouts and the changes that have been made and who reports to who now and that kind of thing. And then our attorney, Jeff Beaumont, did a very nice presentation on roles and responsibilities of a director and our ethics and what we could and couldn't do and should and shouldn't do, those kinds of things. And then Betty, our financial officer, came in and talked about the budget process and how to read a balance sheet, which a lot of directors don't know when they get this information and it's just Greek to them. So she really went over in detail how to really understand that. And last but not least, Lori Moss talked about some different community things, and all in all, it was a very good meeting. And then in the afternoon, United got together as a board to look at what we want to do for 2017, what are some of our goals and objectives. And some of them were interesting. One of the things that's come out of the document review committee is that our bylaws state that when anybody wants to sell their membership, wants to leave the co-op corporation, that they have to give us a letter 30 days in advance. That's before they put it on the market, see a realtor, all of those kinds of things. And United Mutual, as the co-op, has the right of first refusal. And we haven't done that. And some of us were really surprised that that was really in there, but it's in our bylaws, it's a stated law. And so we talked about that, and we basically set up a task force to look into that more. What we're looking for also is funding. And we have Janie Durrell and her group are looking at, are there government grants, state grants, things that could help us with our infrastructure and things like that. And the right of first refusal is something that would cost us money, but if we bought, as the flippers do, buy low, put some things into it. We do appliances and countertops and everything anyway, and then sold it. Then we would have enough money to buy another, and where we're doing that, we are going to be upgrading the infrastructure, the pipes, and.
Let me understand you here. You folks have a task force. You're looking at the fact that perhaps United, the corporation, may buy some units.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. That's why.
And we would,
and then, of course, flip them, basically.
well, yeah, but upgrade them while we're doing it, because we have a lot of infrastructure upgrades that need to be done, and it's hard to do when people are living in the units. And so if we have empty units that we have bought and can do it, it just upgrades the community piece by piece by piece, if you will. So we also had a motion to ask VMS to do a study on the cost of outsourcing some of our union labor, since we're going into union contracts this next year. And we just wanted to know financially if there is an alternative, a better way. So we looked at that as well. And we also talked about the trust and the fact that the trust has got 7 more years now. And it's time to start looking about, do we want to upgrade it? Do we want to have a big meeting with all of the corporate members and do some upgrades to it, or do we just want to renew it and go from there? So again, we have a group that's going to be looking at that, the Governing Docs Committee, with our attorney to see what we have to do. Now, we understand that we are just a trustee.
Right.
We are not the trustor, and there's nothing that we can do on our own. But
Right,
we
exactly.
thought it's maybe we should take the lead and say it's time to start looking at this, and let's look at alternatives and see what we want to do and that kind of thing. So that was another thing. And then, of course, parking concerns and short-term
Yes.
rentals are two of the big concerns that we have going forward.
Right.
So.
Yes, and I know you've talked about, well, the parking, that's been ongoing for
Oh, absolutely.
decades.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. So
Yeah.
it was a very productive meeting in the afternoon, and it's one of the few times when all of the directors are able to get together and discuss these matters
Right.
and talk about them because of our wonderful Open Meetings Davis-Sterling Act that says you can't have 5 directors together to talk without it being a noticed open meeting and everything. So when we have a meeting like this and we can discuss all these issues and get other people's points of view and decide
Right.
what we want to do. And so it was very, very good meeting.
Very good. Don?
Yeah, we had our monthly meeting, and there's not much new going on, so I'd like to mention alterations again. We had
Sure.
4 alteration requests. We turned one down because they wanted to expand in the common area, and right now we aren't allowing that. We are going to have a vote by all of the residents in April, and we'll go by what they want to do. If they allow use of common area, then we'll start granting that. And if not, then it'll be we won't allow it. The one concern we do have in alterations is that we have an increase in unauthorized. We had 21 last month, and about 20 the month before that. Some are major; those are the ones we are really concerned about. We had one where they took out some beams and the roof started coming down. And, that was a major one.
Wow.
Other ones are small, however, people will get into the plumbing and the electrical, and they think they know how to do it correctly. Some do, some don't. They can start fires and all that. It's easy to get a permit and do it correctly, and that will keep their units safe. So I'm just asking again, if you want to do an alteration, do it properly. We also talked and finally completed a brochure on solar paneling, and that was done by Steve Leonard, another director, and it will be presented to the board at our next meeting, and then if approved, which I'm sure it will be available for all of the residents who are interested in installing solar paneling.
All right.
Our solar paneling program is almost complete. I think the end of March it will be completed. Right now we are way ahead of the schedule. All of the panels have been put in place. The laundry rooms are in different phases of completion. We're putting in new hot water heaters, and we're really doing a nice job on that. And the slowdown on that is with Edison, trying to schedule getting them in. They have a lot of projects that they have to oversee, and we're just one of many. You mentioned parking. M&C inherited that committee, the parking committee that used to be run by Ken Hammer, who just passed away last week. And there's a lot of concerns about that. Staff is going to look into the red lines on the cul-de-sacs and see if we can change them and just to get some more. We will never get away with the parking problem. It'll always be there, but maybe we can reduce the congestion and get some more spots of it. It's a hard one to look at. We're getting increased parking. Number one reason is because this place was built for one car.
Yes.
One manor, one car. We now have 2 or 3 people living in manors, and they each have a car, plus a golf cart, and it's just crowded.
Right. Yeah,
My
it is.
cul-de-sac is completely covered, crowded in the front, and then I'm on Mariposa, it looks like a parking lot at times. So I'm not sure what we're going to do, but we're looking into it. Finally, we have a total of 17 projects. 5 of them are ongoing, like roofing and paving and dry rot painting. But we have 12 that are in different phases of completion. I've mentioned them before, the Push-O-Matic electrical panels.
Right.
That's a 10-year program, but we're doing fine on it. We have the replacement of the toilets so we can go to low flush. We started that 3 years ago. We're ahead of schedule. It's a completion date of, well, 5 years from now. We have about 2 more years to go.
Okay.
And a lot of projects, but we're all ahead on all of them. We're doing fine. Very comfortable with it.
All right, that's all good. And as far as the trust agreement, this is something you're going to start to look into, as I know it's been talked about
Yes, well,
on and off. So
it expires in 2024.
right.
And it seems like a long time ahead, but you know, when you're working with 4 boards and they change every year or
Right.
2, and you've got different people, you need to get a jump on it. There's nothing
Right.
that we can do immediately that is going to do anything.
Right.
So we need to look and see what maybe is obsolete and it needs to be changed, or do we just want to renew it the way it is and then make changes?
Exactly.
So it's just time to start it. So we decided we would try to take the lead and try to get people together and talking about it and see what we're going to do. So we'll be in time.
All right, very good. Good to see you both, as always.
A pleasure.
You take care. Enjoy the nice weekend.
Thank you.
You
Yeah,
too.
definitely. We'll be right back.